Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Living with Spice YouTube. Here it's Rebecca. I hope you've had a lovely week so far. I am doing another weekly reading for you guys, starting from Monday the 8th of October through to the 15th. I had already started this reading. Actually, I'd finished the reading and hit the button on it and realised I had taken a photo and not a video. So the joys. So I've actually already shuffled and prepared the cards and gone through the whole reading. So now I'm the second attempt, and so I'm going to share the reading with you already laid out on the table this morning. So anyway, I do hope that this is of use to you in the week coming forward. So let me just share that with you now. So as last week, I used the first range of cards from the Wisdom of Oracle deck from Colette Baron Reid. So looking at these three cards here for the week, Spirit's guidance for us starting out is Unfinished Symphony card. Now this card is Spirit is asking us, or bringing to our attention, that now's a really great time to wrap up things in our life. And last week we spoke about how we'd had a lot of changes going on in our life, and that cycle is now coming to a close, and it might have some relevance for you in your job or some relationships or a project that you've been working on. Well, now is the actual time to start wrapping that up. So, using this beautiful picture here of the keyboard here representing the symphony, it's important to sort of be able to finish things off on a high note, on a positive note. And in doing so, we're recognizing that leaving things on a good note helps us to move forward with clarity, with good energy, and having cleared the slate, having resolved anything that's left undone or unsaid. So, Spirit's asking us to be mindful about how we do that and the importance of doing that. And also to recognize that often part of the things that we've been involved in is not just about ourselves. It's acknowledging that our part that we've been playing is part of a bigger picture. So as we would know in a symphony, there's not just one instrument in the symphony, in the orchestra, there are many. So, we're being asked to be mindful about that. It's not just about us, that the part we play in life does have an effect on other people. So as we're closing things off, it's really important to be mindful of that. So yes, it's a good time to be looking at doing that now. So have the conversations that need to be had. They don't always need to be intense. They can be over a cup of coffee, to just resolve any issues, and to do it with a lightheartedness, with clarity, and it's not about pointing out resentments or how people have wronged you, because moving forward is very much about doing the inner work on yourself and recognizing the part you've played in certain situations and scenarios. So the healthy way to go forward is, part of having closure is self-examination and self-management. So now is the time to be a little bit thoughtful and mindful about that as we wrap things up. Okay, so the next card that follows on from that is Serendipity. So a little bit like last week, it's recognizing the synchronicities that happen in our life. And the reason for this is preparing ourselves to go forward. So as we do the inner work, we're creating more of a balance of energy in our life and preparing ourselves to be in a better space energetically, so that we're in a state of readiness to receive. Where we have let go things that needed to finish and come to fruition or closure, and now we're in a space of getting ready for good fortune, for manifesting. I love the four-leaf clover here. So there's a real sense of lightheartedness now, because we've done the inner work, we've closed everything off, finished up in a good way, and now we're ready for the next thing. And it really does have a sense of lightness and a feeling of anticipation, that readiness, preparedness. Let me just check the book to see if there's anything else I can add to that that's helpful. Excuse me. Yes, just being open and aware of synchronicities, things that are going to happen, knowing that we're stepping into energetically a better space for things to come to fruition, and creating a sense of harmony in our life. If we want to attract good fortune in life, it really is about good mental, emotional, physical preparation. And trusting that Spirit's working with us. I said this last week, that Spirit is our co-creator. And as we do the work, then Spirit can work with us to make things happen. And it really is not about sitting back and doing nothing. We do need to do the work, but doing the work and then having a spirit of lightness about it, knowing that the universe is there to support us and help to bring those synchronicities, open those doors for us. And if we are ready and we've done the work, then everything starts to flow for us. The divine forces are at work to assist us to bring what we want into our life. So we do need to be alert, aware, pay attention to the signs, which is the guidance we got last week as well, and kind of know that we're going to be placed in the right place at the right time, and so things are lining up to be in favour for us. There is a beautiful sense of hope here. And so it's really important that we get ourselves ready mentally, emotionally, and physically to receive, to be ready for that next step. Because the work that we've done has helped us create opportunities that are coming our way. Beautiful message. And as we do that, the last card here is Spirit's advising us at this point in time to, instead of sort of pushing the buzzer really fast and furiously with excitement, enthusiasm, which I know can be easy to do, Spirit's just saying, look, you know what, now is a good time. You've done the inner work. Now is a good time to just take your foot off the pedal and observe around you. Take a bit of a neutral stance. Check in with your powers of observation. Recognize that you're not the only cog in the wheel here of a bigger machine. That sometimes it's wise to be able to see your part in the bigger picture, which means observing other things around you, the environment around you, how things are working out, and just taking a neutral stance. So more specifically, just knowing that sometimes we do have a tendency to see the world through our own lens, to take on our own perspective, and that can at times block us from receiving good things or limit our ability to perceive the bigger picture. So just being mindful that it's not just about our own perspective. It's a good idea to look at the bigger picture. Take a moment to pause and use this time to explore your options, explore what's going on around you, and also being mindful of what's going on for other people, that your perspective and take on something may not necessarily be the same for someone else. That, when we're really up close and personal to a situation, or if we've been, in a challenging situation, we don't always see the trees from the forest. So it's a good moment in time to just sort of take some time out to step back, before we decide to react or say something, just to pause, sit with it, have a little think about how it could be for someone else. Taking the higher ground is really important. The guidance is not to rush on in with your own agenda and your own perspective on something. Just, there's wisdom in just pausing and looking at the bigger picture. We all fit together in some way. We all have a part to play. It's not just about our own self. So I then drew 3 cards from, as I did last week, from the Wisdom of Avalon deck to complement the reading. And what I found that came up, perfectly was the first card was letting go. So, as we are part of the process of closing up things in our life, cycles that have come to an end, part of doing that, our work is to let go. The picture depicts water, which is often referred to our emotional attachments and our mental state. So Spirit is guiding us to be mindful of the things that we have felt attached to. And as we are closing things up, resist the urge to want to know everything, to have everything perfectly in place before you decide it's okay to move on, because in life that's not a reality. And it is going to better serve you to look at what you need to let go that's no longer helping you, without the need to have all of the answers. Just to know that what is in the past stays in the past, and now is a time to sort of let go without hanging on to resentments or bitterness or anger, and come to a state of peace. And that's what letting go gives us. Sometimes I think we freak out when people say let go of something, because we feel like we're going to lose something we're going to lose ourselves, and Spirit's never asking us to lose something of ourselves. Nobody can take the core essence away from you, but certainly we do as human beings become attached to people, ideas, things in our life, our way of looking at things, that it has to be a certain way. Well, Spirit's asking us to let go of those things that we hold on to so desperately, that we think we must have in order to be happy. The answers that we must have, the rationale that we think we must have, the perfect job, the perfect relationship. When we know that it's time to move on from our old way of thinking and our old way of doing things, it's a beautiful gift to ourselves to just let it all go and start afresh with peace in our heart and a clean slate. So the next card that followed is the cow. And the cow represents abundance in our life and nourishment. The cow receives the beautiful energy and grass of the earth provided to us by God, the universe, and in return the cow provides us nourishing milk. So, using the analogy here of giving and receiving helps to put us in a space of getting ready to receive abundance in our life, creating good energy, flow, and knowing that it's important to open our heart to receive, that it's okay to ask to have our needs met, ask the angels, God, Spirit, maybe friends and family, to be ready to receive that gratefully. And in return, we are then able to give with the right heart, and vice versa. As we give to people, we create openness to receive and attract that as well. So as we are being open to synchronicities in our life, preparing the way, preparing our energy, having a light-heartedness, being prepared, preparing ourselves in the heart energetically to give and receive, so that we can open the door to abundance in our life. And then we have the Grail Knight card. This card says romance, illusion, and seeking the sacred. There's a real sense of connection with Spirit here, and a real humbleness of heart. The Knight here is on bended knees, and the Grail that he's offering up could be a Grail of offering what he has to give: knowledge, skill, wisdom, love, as well as a cup ready to receive from Spirit. So it's very similar to this card here, the energy of giving and receiving. It's very much a heart of gratitude, the head is bowed, really grateful for what has been, are grateful for achievements, are grateful for blessings in the life, and a readiness to receive. So there's a real sense of anticipation of things coming, pausing, being aware of what else is around us, being aware of the blessings in our life, and having that state of readiness to receive, because good things are coming. So this is really beautiful. So this is doing the work and getting ready this week, preparing ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Letting go, closing up things, state of readiness, sitting back, pausing. Beautiful. And then I added a card from the Mary Magdalene deck. I pulled one card from that, and what came up was the perception card. Very interesting. So what Spirit is asking us to be mindful at the moment is that in our state of readiness and preparing ourselves and doing the inner work, again, it's a reminder that the way we perceive life is how we create our reality. And that different people are going to perceive things in different ways at different times. Certainly, the way we perceive something is important and valid for our own life. But at the same time, when we're engaging with other people, we don't necessarily have to take on the perception, beliefs, drama, or emotional baggage of other people. I think Spirit is asking us just to be aware of that, be aware of it, without necessarily needing to engage with it, and to trust your own intuition on something. It's not asking you, Spirit's not asking you to do anything with it other than to observe and be mindful of it. Sometimes you will come across energy and drama from other people that we certainly don't need to take on board. It is not ours. But just be aware. The way we see people and events is coloured by our own perceptions and our own beliefs, as it is for other people as well. So it is helpful to take a neutral stance at this point in time. Trust our intuition. Okay? And lastly, I pulled a card from the Flower Therapy Oracle cards from Doreen Virtue and Robert Reeves. And what came up was financial healing. So I'm sure this is going to resonate with quite a few of you out there. It says on the card, your money struggles are a thing of the past. Be open to all avenues to receiving. You'll be provided for in every way. There is very much a sense of Spirit working with us as we are preparing ourselves and doing the inner work. And if there have been financial struggles for some of you, now is the time to recognise that these struggles are going to be a thing of the past. As we've recognised what we need to move on from, we are moving into a space of receiving, preparing ourselves mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to receive and be open. So, there's some guidance here that our finances are going to improve. And if it's not necessarily money in the bank finances, it could also be pointing to a sense of abundance and wellness in our life, that things are taking a next step up. And certainly the way to ensure that that manifests in our life is doing the inner work, making sure that we're, taking time out to self-examine and self-manage, to be grateful for the things that are in our life, the blessings, and that helps us to be clear about the pathway forward. It's important to connect with our higher self, with Spirit, and recognise that we're not alone, that Spirit's working with us to support us, but being in a state of readiness to receive. So clearly, good things are coming, provided we do the work, we let go of things that are unhealthy for us. Allow things to stay in the past. Leave them in the past. Do not bring them with you going forward. Be ready for synchronicities. Be open to new things. Create that state of readiness in your heart. Be in a good space. Pause and reflect. Self-examine. Come from a place of gratitude. And you will receive. So it's a beautiful message, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the reading. I apologise that I sort of messed up with the shuffling of the cards, hitting the photo and not the video before. But anyway, there is the message. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful, promising week. And I wish you lots of love and abundance. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.